The forest was quiet. Too quiet. Hana stopped walking and listened. The normal sounds of the forest were gone. No birds singing. No insects buzzing. Just silence. She held her axe tighter. Something was watching her. She could feel eyes on her back. Hana had been on planet Valtheris for 2 years now. She knew when danger was near. The colony of New Haven was 2 kilometers behind her. She had come out here alone to gather wood. It was stupid, maybe, but the colony needed firewood. Winter was coming, and winter on Valtheris could kill. Hana turned slowly. Her eyes scanned the blue crystalline trees. These trees were strange. They hummed with energy and glowed softly at night. Everything on this planet was strange. Then she saw it. Behind a fallen tree trunk. 4 amber eyes staring at her. The eyes blinked 2 at a time. Hana's heart started pounding. A Vraxen, the creature, stepped into view. It was small, about the size of a large dog. Black fur covered its body. 4 legs, each with retractable claws that looked like metal. A long tail swished behind it. The 4 eyes watched her carefully. Hana knew what this was. A hunter cub, young, maybe 6 months old. Still, it was dangerous. The Vraxen were the deadliest predators on Valtheris. They hunted in packs. They were smart, fast, deadly. 17 colonists had died because of Vraxen attacks. 17 people who would never see Earth again. The colony leader, Daewon, wanted to kill every Vraxen on the planet. Many colonists agreed with him, but Hana was different. She had spent months studying these creatures, watching them from a distance, taking notes. She was a xenobiologist. It was her job to understand alien life. And she had learned something important. The Vraxen were not mindless killers. They had patterns, rules, a social structure. They communicated with each other using growls and chirps. The cub took a step closer. Its ears were forward, curious, not aggressive, but Hana knew that could change in a second. If she ran, it would chase. If she attacked, it would fight. Either way, she would probably die, so Hana did something else, something crazy. She turned to face the cub completely. She dropped her axe on the ground. She stood tall. Then she looked directly into those 4 amber eyes and she growled. It was a deep sound from her throat, low and rumbling. The same sound she had heard adult Vraxen make when they warned others to stay back. A dominant sound. The cub froze. Its ears flattened against its head. Its tail stopped moving. For a long moment, nothing happened. Hana could hear her own heartbeat in her ears. Then the cub lowered its head slightly. A submissive gesture. It took 1 step back. Hana picked up her axe slowly. She did not take her eyes off the cub. She turned and started walking back toward the colony. Her legs felt weak. Her hands were shaking. After 10 steps, she glanced back. The cub was following her, keeping a distance of about 5 meters, walking when she walked, stopping when she stopped. Hana's mind raced. This was not normal behavior. Young Vraxen usually stayed with their pack. They did not follow humans. They did not submit to humans. What was happening? Then she noticed something. The cub was limping. Its back right leg had a deep cut. Blood matted the black fur. The wound looked bad. Infected, probably. That explained it. The cub was injured. Separated from its pack. Alone. Vulnerable. It was following her because it had nowhere else to go. Hana stopped walking. She was 1 kilometer from the colony now. If she went back with this cub following her, someone would see it. They would kill it immediately. Minho, the security chief, would shoot first and ask questions never. She thought about her options. She could scare the cub away, make loud noises, throw stones. It would probably run off and die alone in the forest. Problem solved. Or she could do something incredibly stupid. Hana changed direction. She headed toward the old research outpost. It was 3 kilometers from the colony in the opposite direction. The building was abandoned. She had used it a few times for field studies. Nobody went there anymore. The cub followed. It limped along behind her, struggling to keep up. Once it stumbled and fell. It got back up and kept going. Stubborn little thing. When they reached the outpost, Hana opened the door. The building was small. 1 room with some old equipment and storage containers. Dusty but dry, she looked at the cub. It sat outside the door, watching her with those 4 eyes. Waiting. This is insane, Hana thought. If anyone finds out, I will be arrested, maybe executed. The colony has strict rules about contact with Vraxen. Kill on sight, no exceptions. but she had spent 2 years studying these creatures. She had watched them care for their young. She had seen them mourn their dead. She had observed behaviors that suggested intelligence. Real intelligence. What if the Vraxen were not just animals? What if they were something more? Hana made her decision. She stepped back from the door and gestured inside. The cub hesitated. Then it limped through the doorway and collapsed in the corner. She closed the door behind it. Her hands were still shaking. She had just done something that could get her killed. But for some reason it felt right. The cub watched her from the corner. It was panting, exhausted, in pain. Hana approached slowly. She knelt down about 2 meters away. The cub growled softly. A warning. Stay back, Hana growled back, softer, different tone. Not a threat, just a sound. The cub's ears came forward again. It tilted its head, curious. Hana pulled out a water bottle from her bag. She poured some water into her hand and held it out. The cub sniffed the air. Then, very slowly, it crawled forward and lapped up the water. Up close, Hana could see how young it really was. Just a baby. Lost and hurt and scared. Like any child would be. She reached out carefully toward the injured leg. The cub flinched but did not pull away. Hana examined the wound. It was deep. Probably from another Vraxen. A fight for territory or dominance. She would need medical supplies, bandages, antiseptic, antibiotics if she could get them. All of that was back at the colony, and taking medical supplies without permission was another crime. Hana looked at the cub. It looked back at her. In that moment, something passed between them. An understanding, a connection. She would help this creature, even if it cost her everything. Because maybe, just maybe, this could be the beginning of something important, something that could change everything between humans and Vraxen. Or maybe she was just a fool who would die for nothing. Time would tell. Hana waited until dark before returning to the colony. She had left the cub sleeping in the outpost. The creature was exhausted. It needed rest more than anything. At the colony entrance, Minho was on guard duty. He was a big man with sharp eyes. Nothing got past him. He had been a soldier on Earth before joining the colony mission. "Where have you been, Hana?" Minho asked. His voice was suspicious. "You were gone for hours collecting samples," Hana lied. She held up her bag. It had some plants inside. Not much, but enough to make the lie believable. Found some interesting fungus near the river. Minho looked at her for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Be more careful. 2 scouts saw fresh Vraxen tracks today. A pack was moving through the area." Hana felt her stomach twist. A pack. They were probably looking for the missing cub. She kept her face calm. "Thanks for the warning. I will stay closer tomorrow." She walked into the colony. New Haven was small. 50 buildings made from prefab materials. 300 colonists. Everyone knew everyone. There were no secrets here, except now Hana had one. A very dangerous secret. She went to the medical building. Her friend Hyejin worked there as an engineer. She was fixing one of the diagnostic machines. Hyejin was small and quick, always talking fast and thinking faster. "Hey," Hyejin said without looking up. "You look terrible. Rough day?" Hana closed the door behind her. "I need medical supplies. Bandages, antiseptic, antibiotics if you have them." Hyejin stopped working. She turned around. "Are you hurt?" "No, but I need them." Hyejin studied her friend's face. "Hana, what did you do?" Hana hesitated. If she told Hyejin, she was putting her friend at risk. But she needed help. She could not do this alone. "I found an injured Vraxen cub," Hana said quietly. "I am keeping it at the old outpost." Hyejin stared at her. For a moment she said nothing. Then she laughed. "That is the craziest thing I have ever heard. You know what Daewon will do if he finds out?" "I know. But Hyejin, these creatures are not just animals. I have been studying them. They are intelligent. Really intelligent." Hyejin shook her head. "Intelligent or not, they have killed 17 people. 17, Hana. And we built our colony on top of their territory," Hana said. "We never tried to communicate. We just started shooting. What if they were defending themselves?" Hyejin was quiet for a moment. Then she sighed. "You are going to get yourself killed. You know that, right? Probably. Will you help me anyway?" Hyejin walked to a supply cabinet. She pulled out bandages, antiseptic bottles, and a pack of broad-spectrum antibiotics. She put everything in a bag. "I am an idiot for doing this," Hyejin said. She handed the bag to Hana. "If anyone asks, these supplies were damaged. I had to dispose of them, thank you, just be careful. And Hana, keep me updated. If you are going to do something this stupid, at least let someone know you are alive. The next morning, Hana told everyone she was going on a 3-day research trip. It was not unusual. She often went into the forest for days at a time. Nobody questioned it. She hiked back to the outpost. When she opened the door, the cub was awake. It had moved to a different corner. Its eyes tracked her movements. Hana set down her supplies. She pulled out some dried meat from her pack. She had taken it from the colony stores. She tossed it to the cub. The cub sniffed the meat. Then it ate quickly, tearing at it with sharp teeth. It was hungry. Very hungry. While the cub ate, Hana prepared the medical supplies. She had treated animal wounds before, but never on a Vraxen. She had no idea if this would even work. When the cub finished eating, Hana approached slowly. She held out her hand, palm down. The cub sniffed it. Then, surprisingly, it rubbed its head against her hand. Hana felt a strange emotion. Joy, maybe, or wonder. This creature was trusting her. She examined the injured leg. The wound was worse than she thought. Infected and swollen. She cleaned it carefully with antiseptic. The cub whimpered but did not pull away. Good, Hana said softly. You are brave. This will help you heal. She wrapped the leg in bandages and gave the cub an antibiotic injection. The creature flinched at the needle but stayed still. It watched her with those 4 amber eyes. Curious. Trusting. Hana decided to give the cub a name. Ash. Because of its black fur that looked like ash from a fire. Over the next 2 weeks, Hana visited every day. She brought food and water. She changed the bandages. She watched the wound slowly heal. But something else happened during those 2 weeks. Something remarkable. Ash started learning. At first, it was small things. Ash learned to respond to his name. When Hana said Ash, the cub would look at her. Simple, but it proved he could connect sounds to meaning. Then Ash started watching everything Hana did. When she unpacked her bag, he watched. When she organized supplies, he watched. When she wrote in her notebook, he watched. One day, Hana was stacking storage containers. She put 3 in a row, then she left to get water from outside. When she came back, Ash had moved the containers. He had stacked them in a pyramid shape. 3 on the bottom, 2 in the middle, 1 on top. Hana stared. This was not random. This was intentional. Ash had seen her stack things and tried to copy her. But he had done it differently. He had made his own pattern. That meant creativity, problem-solving, real intelligence. Hana started testing Ash. She would hide food in different places. Ash would find it. She would create simple puzzles. Ash would solve them. Every day he learned something new. The most amazing moment came on day 14. Hana was hungry. She had forgotten to bring enough food for herself. She was looking through her bag, frustrated. Ash walked over to a corner. He pushed aside a storage container. Behind it was a piece of dried meat. He had hidden it there days ago. He picked it up in his mouth, walked to Hana, and dropped it at her feet. He was sharing food. He understood that she was hungry. He was helping her. Hana felt tears in her eyes. This was not an animal. This was a person. Different from humans, yes, but a person nonetheless. That night back at the colony, Hana could not sleep. She kept thinking about Ash, about what this meant. The Vraxen were intelligent. They were sapient. Everything the colony believed about them was wrong. The next morning, Minho stopped her at breakfast. I need to talk to you, he said. His voice was serious. What about? You have been going into the forest every day for 2 weeks. Same direction every time. You come back hours later. What are you really doing out there? Hana felt cold fear. Minho was suspicious. If he followed her, he would find Ash. And then everything would be over. Research, she said. I told you, research on what? You have not submitted any reports in weeks. I am still collecting data. I will write the report when I am done. Minho did not look convinced. Hana, if you are doing something dangerous, tell me now. I can help. There is nothing to tell, Hana lied. She hated lying to Minho. He was a good man. But she had no choice. That afternoon, Hana hiked to the outpost. She was nervous. Maybe Minho would follow her. Maybe this would be the last time she saw Ash. When she opened the door, Ash ran to her. He made a chirping sound. Happy to see her. The leg was healing well. He barely limped now. Hana sat down. Ash curled up next to her. She scratched behind his ears. He made a purring sound, deep and rumbling. I do not know what to do, Hana said out loud. If I tell the colony about you, they will kill you. If I keep you secret, someone will find out eventually. Either way, this ends badly. Ash looked up at her. He made a soft sound, almost like he understood. Maybe he did. Everything fell apart on a rainy morning. Hana was at the outpost with Ash when she heard footsteps outside. Heavy boots on wet ground. She froze. Ash's ears went flat. He had heard it too. The door opened. Minho stood there, rain dripping from his coat. His rifle was in his hands. His face was hard. I followed you, Minho said. His eyes moved from Hana to Ash. The cub was standing now, tense and ready to run. I had to know what you were hiding. Minho, please, Hana said. She moved between him and Ash. Let me explain. Explain? Minho's voice was angry. You have been keeping a Vraxen. A Vraxen, Hana. These creatures have killed our people. And you brought one here. Fed it. Helped it. He is just a cub. He was injured and alone. I could not let him die. Minho raised his rifle. Step aside, Hana. I'm taking you back to the colony. And I am killing that thing. No. Hana did not move. Minho, they are intelligent. The Vraxen are sapient. I have proof. I do not care if they can do math. They are killers. Watch. Hana turned to Ash. She pointed at the storage containers in the corner. Ash stacked them. Ash hesitated. He looked at Minho with his 4 amber eyes. Then he walked to the containers. He picked one up in his mouth and placed it carefully. Then another. Then another. He made a pyramid. 3 on the bottom, 2 in the middle, 1 on top. Minho stared. That could be training, like a dog. Dogs do not create their own patterns, Hana said. Watch this. Ash, bring me the blue container. Ash walked to the containers. There were 5 different colors. He looked at each one. Then he picked up the blue one and brought it to Hana. He understands color, Hana said. He understands commands. He solves problems. Yesterday he used a stick as a tool to reach something high up. Minho, this is not an animal. This is a person. Minho lowered his rifle slightly. His face was confused, conflicted. I do not know what to think. Before anyone could say more, they heard sounds outside. Growls, deep and rumbling. Not one voice. Many voices. Ash's ears went up. He made a chirping sound, excited, nervous. Minho moved to the window. His face went pale. Hana, we have a big problem. Hana looked out. Her heart stopped. There were Vraxen outside. Adult Vraxen. At least 10 of them. Maybe more. They surrounded the outpost. Their black fur was wet from rain. Their eyes glowed in the dim light. One Vraxen was bigger than the others, massive, scarred. He stood at the front. A leader. They came for Ash, Hana whispered. They came for their cub. We are dead, Minho said. He raised his rifle. There are too many. We cannot fight them all. Wait. Hana put her hand on Minho's arm. Do not shoot. Let me try something. Are you insane? Probably, but if we fight, we die. If we do nothing, we die. Let me try. Hana opened the door slowly. The rain hit her face. The Vraxen pack watched her. None of them moved. Ash pushed past her. He limped out into the rain. He walked toward the big Vraxen. The leader lowered his head. He sniffed Ash. Ash made chirping sounds, fast and high-pitched, explaining, telling his story. The leader looked up at Hana. His 4 eyes studied her. She felt like he could see into her soul. She stood still. She did not run. She did not reach for a weapon. She just stood there. Then the leader did something unexpected. He walked toward her, slowly, carefully. When he was 2 meters away, he stopped. He used his claw to draw in the muddy ground. Lines, shapes, a map. Hana's breath caught. He was communicating, showing her something. Minho came out of the outpost. He kept his rifle pointed down. He stood next to Hana. What is he doing? Drawing a map, Hana said. She knelt down to look closer. The leader watched her. He drew more lines. He made marks in specific places. Hana understood. She pulled out her data pad. She called up a map of the area. She showed it to the leader. The leader looked at the screen. He touched it with his claw. He pointed to areas on the map. Then he pointed to the marks he had drawn in the mud. It is territory, Hana said. She looked at Minho. He is showing us Vraxen territory, and he is showing us where we can be, where there is no conflict. A peace offering, Minho said. He sounded amazed.
He is offering to share the land. The leader made a deep growling sound.
Not aggressive. More like speech. Like he was saying something important, Ash chirped back. The conversation continued. Growls and chirps. A language. An actual language. Hana felt tears on her face. She was witnessing history. First contact. Real first contact. Not violence. Not fear. Communication. After 10 minutes, the leader turned away. He made a sound to his pack. They followed him. They disappeared into the forest. Only Ash remained. Ash looked at Hana, then at Minho, then back at the forest. He was choosing. Stay with his pack or stay with the humans. Go, Hana said softly. Go with your family. You are healed now. You are safe, but Ash did not go. He walked back to Hana. He sat down next to her. He had made his choice. Minho and Hana walked back to the colony in silence. When they arrived, Minho said he needed to report what happened. He was security chief. He had no choice. I know, Hana said. That evening, there was an emergency meeting. Everyone in the colony came. Minho told them everything. About Ash, about the Vraxen pack, about the map. The colonists reacted in different ways. Some were angry. Some were scared. Some were curious. But everyone was talking. Day one, the colony administrator stood up. He was a hard man. He had lost his son to a Vraxen attack last year. His face was red with anger. This is treason, Day one said. He pointed at Hana. She helped one of them. She put us all at risk. She should be arrested. She proved they are intelligent, a woman named Jiwoo said. She was a teacher. That changes everything. We cannot kill sapient beings. They killed my son, Daewon shouted. I do not care if they can talk. They are monsters. We built our colony on their land, Minho said. We did not ask permission. We did not try to communicate. Maybe they were defending themselves. The room erupted in arguments. People shouting. Some wanted to negotiate. Some wanted to fight. The colony was splitting apart. Finally, Daewon demanded a vote. Either negotiate with the Vraxen or prepare for war. No middle ground. The vote was scheduled for 3 days later. That would give everyone time to think, to decide. Hana went back to her quarters. She was exhausted. She did not know if she had done the right thing. Maybe she had just made everything worse. That night, Hyejin came to visit. She brought her tools and equipment. She had an idea. I can build a translation device, Hyejin said. I recorded audio of Ash and the leader. If I can analyze their vocalizations, map the patterns, maybe I can create something that translates their language. How long will that take? 2 days, maybe 3. It will be rough. Not perfect, but it might work. Do it, Hana said. If we can talk to them, really talk to them, maybe we can avoid war. Hyejin worked through the night. Hana helped when she could. They analyzed sound patterns, mapped frequencies, built algorithms. The next morning, something terrible happened. A hunting party from the colony was attacked. 2 people died. 3 more were injured. Daewon used this as proof. The Vraxen could not be trusted. They were still killing, but Hana investigated. She talked to the survivors. The hunting party had gone into the territory the Vraxen leader had marked as sacred. They had ignored the boundaries. The Vraxen had defended their land, just like any intelligent species would. But nobody wanted to hear that. Fear and anger were spreading. The vote was tomorrow, and Hana knew which way it would go. War was coming. The attack came before dawn. Hana woke to the sound of explosions. She ran outside. The sky was lit up with fire. Colony defenses were active. Automated guns firing into the forest, but there were no Vraxen attacking. The guns were firing at nothing. Hana ran to the security building. Minho was there, shouting orders. His face was furious. What is happening? Hana asked. Daewon, Minho said. He took a strike team into Vraxen territory. He attacked them. Before the vote. Before we decided anything, Hana felt sick. No, he could not have. 6 Vraxen dead, Minho said, including cubs. He massacred them, Hana. He killed children. Where is he now? In the command center. He says he did it to protect the colony. He says the vote did not matter because the Vraxen would kill us anyway. Hana ran to her quarters. She grabbed her emergency pack. Then she ran to the outpost. She had to warn Ash. She had to tell him what happened. When she arrived, the door was open. Inside, there was blood on the floor. Ash was lying in the corner. He had been shot. Not killed, but badly hurt. No, 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 Hana whispered. She knelt beside him. Ash, stay with me, please. Ash's eyes opened. All four of them. He looked at her. Then he made a sound. Sad. Broken. Like his heart was shattered. He had trusted humans. He had chosen Hana over his own pack. And now humans had killed his family. I am sorry, Hana said. Tears ran down her face. I am so sorry. This is my fault. I should have stopped this. Minho arrived minutes later. He had medical supplies. Together they treated Ash's wound. It was bad but not fatal. The bullet had gone through his shoulder. He would survive, but the damage was done. Trust was broken. Everything Hana had built was destroyed. Back at the colony, chaos ruled. Half the colonists were angry at Day One. The other half supported him. People were arming themselves, taking sides. Hyejin showed Hana something. Security footage. She had hacked the system. The footage showed everything. Day One's team attacking sleeping Vraxen, shooting them without warning. Killing cubs who tried to run. It was murder. Pure and simple. We have to show this to everyone, Hana said. Hyejin sent the footage to every screen in the colony. Every computer. Every device. Everyone saw what Day One had done. The reaction was immediate. Many people who had supported Day One turned against him. They had not known the truth. They had believed his lies. Minho arrested Day One. But Day One's most loyal followers refused to accept it. They locked themselves in the armory. They threatened to fight anyone who tried to remove them. The colony was on the edge of civil war. And then the real danger arrived. Scouts reported movement in the forest. Hundreds of Vraxen. Maybe more. They were gathering, coming from all directions, converging on the colony. The big leader was at the front, the one Hana had met, the one who had drawn the map. But now his eyes were different, cold, filled with rage. They were coming for revenge. Hana knew what she had to do. It was insane. It would probably get her killed, but she had to try. She went back to the outpost. Ash was resting, healing. When he saw her, he made a low growl. Not aggressive, just sad. I need your help, Hana said. Your pack is coming to destroy us. I do not blame them. But innocent people will die. Children, families, people who had nothing to do with what Day One did. Ash looked at her. He did not move. I know you have no reason to help me, Hana said. I know we betrayed you. But please, let me try to fix this. Let me try to stop the killing. Ash stood up slowly. He limped to her. He looked into her eyes. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then he chirped, a sound that meant yes. Hana and Ash walked into the forest, toward the gathering Vraxen army. Minho tried to follow, but Hana told him to stay back. This was something she had to do alone. Well, almost alone. She had Ash, and she had Hyejin's translation device. It was rough. Not perfect, but it might be enough. When they reached the Vraxen gathering, hundreds of eyes turned to look at her. Hundreds of four-eyed predators. Any one of them could kill her in seconds. Hana walked forward. Her legs were shaking. Her heart was pounding, but she did not stop. The big leader stepped forward. His eyes were full of hate. He growled. Deep and threatening. Hana activated the translation device. It crackled to life. The growl was translated to words on the screen. You come here to die? Hana spoke into the device. It translated her words into Vraxen sounds. Rough and imperfect, but understandable. I come here to accept judgment, Hana said. What happened was wrong, evil, I cannot change it. But I can offer myself in payment. 1 human for 6 Vraxen? The leader's voice was bitter through the translation. That is not justice, you are right, Hana said. It is not enough. But killing 300 humans will not bring your family back. It will just create more death, more pain, more loss. Why should we care about human pain? You did not care about ours. Not all humans are the same, Hana said. Some of us are destroyers, but some of us want to build, to connect, to learn. I saved Ash, I helped him heal. I did not have to. I chose to. The leader looked at Ash, he growled a question. Ash chirped back, a long response, explaining everything. The other Vraxen watched, listening. Some of their eyes softened. Others remained hard. Finally, the leader spoke again. You saved 1 cub, but one of yours killed 6 of ours. How do you answer for that? I cannot answer for him, Hana said. But I can offer justice. The human who did this is arrested. We have proof of his crimes. We want to put him on trial. Not just under human law. Under your law, too. A trial where both our peoples decide his fate. The Vraxen had never heard of such a thing. A trial under two different laws. It was strange, unprecedented, but it was also fair. The leader considered this. He talked with the other Vraxen. Growls and chirps, debate, argument. Some wanted blood now. Others were curious about this idea of shared justice. After what felt like hours, the leader turned back to Hana. We will accept this trial. But if your people do not cooperate, if they protect the killer, we will destroy your colony. Do you understand? I understand, Hana said, and you will be our witness. You will make sure the trial is fair. If it is not, you will be the first to die. Hana nodded. That is fair. The leader made a sound to his pack. They started to move. Not away, toward the colony, but not attacking. Walking slowly, deliberately. Hana's heart raced. This could still go wrong. If anyone in the colony panicked and started shooting, it would be a massacre. She ran ahead. She reached the colony first. Minho was there with his security team. All of them had weapons raised. Do not shoot, Hana yelled. They are here for a trial, not for war. If you shoot, everyone dies. Minho looked at the approaching Vraxen. 50 of them. Walking into the colony. It was the most terrifying thing he had ever seen. But he lowered his weapon. He ordered his team to do the same. The Vraxen entered the colony. Colonists came out of their homes. Children stared. Old people gasped. No one moved. No one spoke. The leader walked to the center of the colony. He stood there, waiting. Hana spoke through the translator. The trial will happen here tomorrow. Humans and Vraxen together. Everyone will see. Everyone will judge. And then something remarkable happened. One colonist stepped forward. An old woman named Yunji. She had lost her husband to a Vraxen attack years ago. Everyone expected her to be angry. Instead, she spoke. I want to see this trial. I want to know the truth, not just human truth. Real truth, others nodded. More people came forward. Not all of them. Some were still afraid, still angry, but enough to give peace a chance. The trial began at sunrise. The colony's central square was packed. 300 humans on one side, 50 Vraxen on the other. In the middle, chairs were set up. A makeshift courtroom. Daewon was brought out in restraints. He looked defiant, angry. He did not think he had done anything wrong. Minho stood as the human judge. The big Vraxen leader, who Hana now knew was named Titan, stood as the Vraxen judge. Ash sat between them, acting as translator. Hana's device helped, but Ash made it better. He understood both languages now. The charges were read. Murder of 6 Vraxen, 5 adults, 1 cub. Unprovoked attack. War crimes. Daewon stood up. I did what was necessary. These creatures are a threat to humanity. I was protecting my people. Hyejin played the security footage. On a large screen for everyone to see. The attack, the sleeping Vraxen, the cubs trying to run, the shooting. Some colonists looked away. Others watched in horror. This was not defense. This was slaughter. The Vraxen watched in silence. Their eyes were dark, angry, but they did not attack. They were following the rules of the trial. Witnesses spoke. Members of Daewon's strike team. Some admitted they had not wanted to do it. They said Daewon had ordered them, threatened them if they refused. Then Titan spoke. Through the translator, his words came out clear. My daughter was in that group. She was 5 seasons old. She loved to play in the crystal trees. She had never hurt anyone. She died because of this human. The crowd was silent. Many colonists were crying. They had not thought of the Vraxen as having families, as having children, as feeling love and loss. Daewon remained defiant. They killed my son, my family. How is that different? It is not, Titan said. Pain is pain. Loss is loss. But your son died because you built your colony on our sacred grounds. We asked you to leave. You refused. We defended our home. We did not know it was sacred, Daewon said. We did not know you could think, could feel. You never tried to find out, Hana said. She stood up. You never tried to communicate. You just assumed, and when they fought back, you called them monsters. Daewon glared at her. You are a traitor. You chose them over your own kind. I chose understanding over violence, Hana said. I chose to see them as people. That is not betrayal. That is humanity. The testimony continued for hours. Evidence was presented. Arguments were made. Both sides had their say. Finally, it was time for judgment. Minho and Titan stepped aside to discuss. Ash went with them, translating. The crowd waited. Humans and Vraxen. Together, waiting for justice. When the judges returned, Minho spoke first. Under human law, Daewon is guilty of murder and war crimes. The penalty would normally be execution or life imprisonment. Titan spoke next. Under Vraxen law, he is guilty of killing cubs and breaking sanctuary. The penalty is exile, permanent banishment from all territories. We have agreed on a sentence, Minho said. Daewon will be exiled. He will be sent to a remote monitoring station, alone. He will spend his life there isolated from both humans and Vraxen. He will have time to think about what he has done. Daewon looked shocked. That is worse than death. That is the point, Titan said. You will live, but you will be alone, just as you made our families alone. Justice. Some colonists protested. They thought it was too harsh. Others thought it was too lenient, but most accepted it. The trial had been fair. Both sides had agreed Daewon was taken away. The trial was over, but something else was beginning. In the days that followed, humans and Vraxen started talking. Really talking. Not through weapons. Through words, Titan showed the colonists the sacred grounds, explained why they were important. The Vraxen laid their eggs there. It was where new life began. Building a colony there was like building on a human cemetery. The colonists agreed to move. It would take time, but they would relocate the colony to a different area, an area Titan said was acceptable. In return, the Vraxen shared knowledge. They showed the humans which plants were edible, which animals were dangerous, how to predict weather by watching the crystal trees. Information that could save lives. Hyejin worked with Vraxen craftspeople. They could manipulate the crystal trees in ways humans could not, growing them into specific shapes, creating natural structures. Together, they started designing buildings that would blend with the forest, architecture that respected the land. Minho trained with Vraxen scouts. They taught him how to move through the forest silently, how to track, how to survive. He taught them about human tactics. They formed joint patrol teams, humans and Vraxen working together to keep everyone safe. And Ash became a bridge. He moved between the colony and the Vraxen packs, translating, teaching. He learned to speak human language fluently. He helped others learn too. Young Vraxen cubs visited the colony. Human children visited the Vraxen settlements. At first, parents on both sides were nervous, but the children did not see enemies. They just saw others who wanted to play. One day, Hana watched as a human girl and a Vraxen cub played together. They were playing a game, chasing each other, laughing and chirping, just being kids. This is what it could have been from the start, Ash said. He had learned to speak well now. His voice was rough but clear. Yes, Hana said. If we had just tried to understand. If we had just talked instead of shooting. Ash looked at her. You did try. You saved me. You risked everything. That is why this is possible, not just me. Minho, Hyejin, Titan, all of us. We all chose peace. Ash was quiet for a moment. Then he said something that surprised Hana. I want to tell you something. About that first day, when you growled at me, what about it? I was not going to attack you. I was just curious, lost, scared, but when you growled, you did not sound afraid. You sounded strong, confident. I thought maybe you could help me, so I followed. Hana laughed. I was terrified. I thought I was going to die, but you did not run. You did not attack. You chose a different path. Ash's 4 eyes looked at her warmly. That is what humans do best, I think. You find third options. When others see only fight or flight, you see connection. Not all humans, Hana said sadly. Look at what Daewon did, not all humans. But enough. Ash touched her hand with his paw. Enough to make a difference. 6 months after the trial, something remarkable happened. A ship arrived from Earth, an official vessel. Earth Command had sent representatives to investigate the colony. The leader was Admiral Soo-hyun. She was strict, professional. She had orders to assess the situation and determine if the colony was safe. When she learned about the alliance with the Vraxen, she was skeptical. Dangerous, she called it. Naive. She had seen too many colonies fail because they trusted the wrong beings. Hana gave her a tour, showed her the integrated patrols, the joint construction projects. The children playing together, Soo-hyun was not impressed. This is temporary. It will fall apart the first time there is conflict. Then prove it, Titan said through the translator. Test us, Soo-hyun thought about it. Then she proposed a hunt. There was a massive predator in the forest, bigger than anything the colonists had seen before. It had attacked both human and Vraxan settlements. Hunted together, humans and Vraxan, proved the alliance was real. The hunt was brutal. The creature was enormous, fast, deadly. It ambushed them in a ravine. Soo-hyun was nearly killed. A massive claw came down at her head. Ash threw himself in the way. The claw hit him instead. He was badly hurt. But 3 Vraxan warriors immediately attacked the creature from behind. They risked their lives to save Soo-hyun. A human together, humans and Vraxan brought the creature down, but Ash was bleeding, dying. Soo-hyun herself helped carry Ash back to the colony. She used her own medical supplies to stabilize him. She stayed with him while the doctors worked. When Ash woke up, Soo-hyun was sitting beside his bed. He looked at her with his 4 eyes. "You saved me," he said. "You saved me first," Soo-hyun said. Her voice was soft. "I was wrong about you. About all of this. This alliance is real. It is strong. It is something Earth Command needs to see." Soo-hyun returned to Earth. She wrote a report. She recommended official recognition of the Vraxan as sovereign partners. She proposed the New Haven Accord, a treaty between humans and Vraxan. The first of its kind. It took time. There were debates, arguments. Some people on Earth wanted to reject it. But the story of New Haven spread. The story of Hana and Ash. The story of 2 species choosing peace. Other colonies started asking questions. What if we tried talking to the aliens on our world? What if there was another way? It was the beginning of something bigger. Something that would change humanity forever. And it all started with a growl, a single moment of connection between a human and a lost cub in a forest far from home.